the streets talk about. If it ain't making money, ain't nothing to talk about. Keep my mind on them stacks, cause that green give you cloud. If it's bread making, baby, I'ma always throw that down. I done put my work in the streets, rapping shot on these beats. A lazy man gon' stop, but a grinder always gon' eat. Everybody can't do what I do, that's why I'm crushing your crew. From Chi-Town, Memphis, Tennessee, and all through the Lou. I'm so fresh and so new, got a hot album too. I done came out of nowhere and I'm taking all of these suckers' juice. I keep my promo on them poles, keep that powder out my nose. I'm staying focused, man, with 1 million copies sold. Say my name. What's my name? Say my name.
This Chicago, nigga.
Yeah. I stayed on the scene, stayed on my green. I ain't never gonna let nobody talk me out of rolling with my team. Y'all know
King Kong ain't got
money hungry fiends. They think they can outsmart you by selling you a dream. But I stay grinding cause I'm bread making, homie. And they can't figure me out because they really don't know me. You got that paper, show me. My mama didn't name me, told me. These suckers want slaves, but I'm shaking them like Kobe. In the field, I'm the lion on the mill. I'm that hollow point tip, pointing at you ready to kill. These suckers better chill, but I ask brother Bill. The king is in the building, so you haters take a kneel. Say my name. What's my name?
Who the fuck you think you fucking with?
Say my name.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Come on in the building. Come on in the building. We gonna have a talk tonight. Yeah, we gonna talk about my baby girl. Y'all didn't see it coming, but it was coming anyway. With the exhaustion of all of the hoopla, the naysayers, the ones that said she couldn't do it, the ones that said she was awful, the ones that said that she can't play basketball, the ones that called her a stripper, the ones that called her a person of outside interest. MSL, I put it in the okay. I'll put it here. The ones that said that Angel Reese could not be a WNBA professional basketball player. The ones who said that Angel Reese is just horrible. The ones who said Angel Reese cannot do anything but put her ball in the air on the side of the rim and rebound it for herself. The ones that said she was stat pattern. The ones that said that she has an ugly trot. The ones that called her other names outside of her own name. The ones who labeled her as a thug. The ones that everyone, when I say everyone, every negative person on that other side said that she would not be great. But Angel Reese said to them,
Who the fuck you think you fucking with?
and this is my shit, Angel Reese is the baby goat, as I know her and call her. Welcome to the Gingerbread Man Show. This is Steady Serving Sports ENT, an extension of Simply Ball Dropping Podcast with my main man, K-Sap. What's going on, K-Sap? Shout out to the Full Court Trio. Shout out to the Players Club. Hey, y'all, I'm telling y'all actual facts. Actual facts. The Angel Reese is her. The baby goat is on schedule. She is. She is. Who I love, I came to YouTube for, why I'm here for you guys. And I just want to give some of you ninjas a reminder who the, hold on, let me do my Denzel. I want to give some of you ninjas.
Who the fuck you think you fucking with?
Because I am that man that came to the YouTube streets for this baby girl here, this baby girl here. I came to the YouTube streets for one particular reason, because I did not like what was going on in 2024, in 2023, win over Caitlin Clark. I did not like when the Natty was won. I did not like when they lost in the bracket games and she was made fun of as if she did not win and beat Caitlin Clark the year before. I did not like when she came into the W right on the podium, the rookie selection on the stage, and they were immediately calling her names. Just like we know and we saw Baby Raven get called names when she hit the stage for the Indiana Fever. Angel Reese was 3 times worse. Matter of fact, she fell in the draft to number 7. When we all know that Angel Reese wasn't no number 7 damn pick in that draft. We all know from just what the truth is. She was the number 1 draft pick out of everybody that was selected 1 through 6. Angel Reese has a better track record in being consistent and being the vessel that she is than any of them from 1 through 6. I stand on it. And you tell me who's having a better and more impactful year out of all 6 that was drafted. All 6 that was drafted has turbulence in their career. So I will show you the draft of 2024, and who was first. In the draft, we all know right now from all of the hoopla and everything that goes on, the shenanigans that happen, and what we're seeing in foul spirit and mention. Caitlin Clark from Iowa was the first round pick, the number 1 overall of all of the top teams, the top 12 that was that year when it was 12 teams. Then Cam Brink for the Los Angeles Sparks. Then our baby Camila Cardoso for the Chicago Sky. Rickea Jackson for the Los Angeles Sparks because they had a double pick in the first round. The Dallas Wings picked J.C. Sheldon. And Washington Mystics picked Aaliyah Edwards. So every one of those names that I called, she is eating, 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 and proving all of you who was in the draft. And then, of course, the Washington Mystics, man, the son and the father got fired. Cheryl Reese missed her pick. Eat crow. Eat crow. All of you who thought that she was actually a number 7 pick overall, all of you should be shamed. All of you missed the roll of the dice and missed the real number 1 overall pick. But first, I want to say welcome to the Gingerbread Man Show. This is Steady Serving Sports ENT, an extension of Simply Ball Dropping Podcast with my main man, K-Sap. What's up, K-Sap? Shout out to the Full Court Trio. Shout out to the Players Club. Shout out to my sister, Keisha and Tony. Cut the Israel Talk Sports and Court Vision with So Pretty Tony. Y'all go subscribe to those channels. And yes, a special what's up. And then, of course, to my brother, my partner in crime, K-Sap on Get That Off Your Chest podcast that we just launched this month. Go over and subscribe. If you ain't subscribed to get that off your chest, ADP, could you put that in the chat so the people can go over and give us some love and show us some love, if you would, please. And if you ain't subscribed here, well, it's going to be goddamn time for you to subscribe here, because I'm about to put on a goddamn show in this D block. I'm going to let y'all know what's going on. Brian Lewis, my brother from another mother, what's happening? MSL, get your butt up in here, get it right. That's right. Max, what's going on? I see you in the building. Sister Sharice, Green Thumb is in the building. Brother Steph is in the building. I see you, my baby sister ADP. Not for the weak, my pretty girl. What's happening? Live, laugh, and love. Of course, I always late. She Wins is in the building. Yeah, in the building, y'all. Give some love to Finally the Truth is in the building. My main man, my nephew, brother Jabari, is here in the house. A lot of you came to show up and show out, because I'm about to show my ass tonight. Yeah, and not physically, but literally get down on them. You know what I'm saying? You remember, you know that record? Get down on it. Come on in. Get down on it. If you want to do it, get down on it. You got to feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Well, I'm about to go there. How you want to do it if you really don't want to dance? Standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me. Hey, I'm going to just tell y'all this. No, that ain't no damn church. Not for the weak. That's cool in the game. I already know how old you is. You got some milk in your ears if you don't know that song. Anyway, I'm going to just say this. I'm going to say this, y'all. One thing about this and what I'm saying is that Angel Reese puts them all to shame. They had their selection and they had their choice. Yes, she was chose by the Chicago Sky, but once the foul Chicago Sky, the ill-minded Chicago Sky, the badly run Chicago Sky, the Jeff Pagliosha, the Michael Alter, the Nadia Rollinson with a lying forked tongue, the underdeveloped Tyler Marsh as a coach, all decided with Courtney Vandersloot in the building to trade the baby bopper, the boo bop, the bam, my baby goat. You know, when they say, oh, you done fucked up now, they did that. Because now they get to see Angel on a winning team and how it would look, look with real wings, real point guards, real backups. And Bree Jones ain't even entered the chat yet. It's going to be ugly, guys. It's going to be pretty nasty going on into the playoffs. With a team like the Atlanta Dream that my baby then went over to the Atlanta Dreams dynasty. That's what I call it. They need maybe one more piece. And I believe they can take it all. But I also think that this year they have a chance to take it. I also really believe that she is the one and have been the one from the time she walked across the stage and the time that the selection went down. We know that all of them now are kicking themselves in the head, including Jeff P., Michael Alter, and Nadia Rollinson. But maybe not, because I could be wrong. Because, you know, when you got a money laundering scheme and you want to cover up, you know, allegedly. I know mama, Mama June gonna be like, you gotta say allegedly, bro, Cloud. Listen, allegedly. When you have that type of thing going on, man, it's really, really crazy. How everyone at that draft night is now having to see and look at Angel Reese's greatness and how they miss the take of the #1 draft pick and the real lottery pick of changing and transitioning teams, because she is the glue. She is the worth. She is the baby goat. So Angel Reese is no longer merely proving that she belongs. She's in the building, an MVP level future with the Atlanta Dream. The questions that they always wanted to say, with their underestimation, people continue to doubt her impact to the WNBA. People still disrespect what she gives to the game and underestimate, even right now, underestimate Angel Reese. They questioned her offense. They minimized her rebounding. They blamed the attention she received on popularity. Some people act like Atlanta gave up too much to acquire her, and that was nothing. They wanted to give her up for nothing because they thought, those haters thought, that she was worth nothing. But look at what is happening now. Angel Reese is averaging 15.3 points, 11.8 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and 1.7 steals per game. She leads the WNBA in rebounding and has already produced a league-leading 16 double-doubles this season. The WNBA player profile sparks the dream as a recapped and a revamped team. Better than last year. You could think she couldn't do it, but she said she can. Tonight, we're discussing her rise in Atlanta, the people who chose wrong, her all-star recognition, and whether the baby goat is already moving towards the future MVP award. Before we can begin, type one word in the chat describing Angel Reese 2026 season for me. I want y'all to put it in the chat for me and my people that's right now. Describe who Angel Reese is to you in one word? I'm waiting. Come on with it. Y'all, we gonna play it. Yeah. That's what come to mind. Big dog. Big dog. That's what came to my mind. Unstoppable. Undeniable. The ultimate. Come on, put it in the chat. Let me see them. Let them all see them because they're going to read it in week. Give me what you think of Angel Reese in this chat. We fired up tonight. I told y'all I'm on my shit tonight. We going to talk it tonight. So come on, let's listen. Come on, tune on in. If you ain't got nobody, share this podcast tonight because we going to talk about my baby goat. And I'm going to glaze and put honey all on my chest. I'm going to put honey all on my chest. I'm going to put honey all on my chest for the baby goat. Explain the headlines that came to apply to several groups. The people who dismissed Reese as only a rebounder in basketball, period. College, they lied on her college career because people have short-term memories. So they can't remember the greatness of what she showed. Going in, and going on. I'm going to pull you up MSL in a minute. Going in and going on. Her natty purge from 2023 and 2024. The voters who didn't recognize her as an all-star starter. Anyone who believed Atlanta paid too much to require her, are trash. Fans who judged her personality instead of elevating her production, trash. They're crying in heaven right now because they didn't know what to do with my baby goat. Let me make something real clear. Angel Reese was selected as an all-star reserve. So she was not completely ignored, but when you lead an entire league in rebounds and double-doubles, people have a legitimate argument, which we do, that you deserve to be a starter on that level of all who started and be recognized. Reese was ultimately drafted to Team Coop, whose roster also includes Paige Beckers, Breanna Stewart, Kelsey Mitchell, Natasha Howard, and the All-Star game takes place on July the 25th in Chicago. Official WNBA All-Star announcement. I will be there in the house streaming live for you all night long in the festivities. Should Angel Reese have been an all-star starter? We already know that she should have been. Was the reserve status appropriate? Yeah, because she was the first one off the board for the reserves because, listen, Coop and Spoon knew that she was supposed to be a starter. Coop and Spoon knew that they needed Angel Reese on their team, and she was the first one out of the reserve. But before we discuss the award popularity, let's examine what Angel Reese is actually doing on the basketball court. Once again, I will quote to y'all haters and the ones that's hate watching in the back with your mark ass. Angel Reese, 15.3 points, 11.8 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.7 steals, and 7.7 blocks. Shooting at a 42.6%, 16 double-doubles through 23 appearances. Those numbers show us that Angel Reese affects nearly every part of the game. She scores, controls the glass, create additional possessions, and generate defense activity. While 11.8 rebounds matter, Rebounding is not a consolidation prize. A defensive rebounder ends the opponent's possession, and offense rebounds gives your team another opportunity to score. Do you really think about that? Let me read it to the people that's slow on the little small itty bitty yellow bus and the Clarky clan that I just saw in the debacle on Fat Boy Magic's podcast. Rebounding is not a consolation prize. They just don't give that shit to you. A defensive rebound ends the opponent's possession, meaning that the opponent time of having the ball is over once the rebound is taken down by the opposite side of teams. And the offensive rebound gives your team another opportunity to score. Angel Reese creates extra possessions that don't always appear in her highlight package. That is winning basketball. She is averaging approximately 5.2 offensive rebounds per game, an extraordinary source of second chance opportunities that no one in the whole goddamn entire league has got that going on. Her offensive development, Angel scoring, is rising because she is becoming more comfortable in Atlanta's system. She's attacking with greater patience, drawing fouls, and finding moments when defenses are occupied by the Atlanta's perimeter weapons. The Bible line, everybody loves the first shot, but Angel Reese makes her living owning the second one. What part of Angel's game has improved the most? Scoring, defense, decision-making, leadership. What has it? She's been developing over and over again, creating herself, remanufacturing what they thought was only one pony show, but that girl over there, that's only like scoring, shooting logos, threes, and shooting free throws, and never want to be touched by anyone or anybody, no defense to be played, and no technical fouls called here. Angel Reese is a dog, and she is not underdeveloped. She's very much so developed. And what I will say, the Atlanta Dream has been transformed just by her coming to the team and Bree Jones starting the season off injured. She has made the difference in the 14-10 record. It could be worse. They thought that they was going to be behind pretty much because of the injury by Bree Jones, but Angel Reese trade went down. The Atlanta entered July the 16th with a 14-10 record, tied for the best record in the Eastern Conference at the moment in Atlanta's 2026 record. Angel did not arrive in Atlanta to play savior basketball. She joined a talented roster featuring players such as Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard. What she supplied was something every contender needs: toughness, rebound, physicality, relentless effort. Her motor is tenacious. She's infectious across the board on offense and on defense. I told y'all I was going to be talking about shit tonight. Listen, why this outfit works for me of saying these things to you and being up here and letting you guys know how talented Angel Reese is, it benefits the fuck out of me. It benefits me because I am an Angel Reese advocate, and I am on YouTube for Angel Reese. Make no mistakes about that. So for all of you haters, for all of you naysayers, and all you ignorant ones who falling out on the Angel Reese team because of whatever critical statements that is made about when I critique my baby goat, never think in your damn mind that, hey, I don't love my baby goat. And because I stick with the team that I was born in, the city that I'm born in, make no mistake, your ass will get cooked on this show about the baby goat. Because one thing that I do know, which ADP and those who follow me know, I know my baby. I know Angel Reese. And I know, and I have been cheering her on since she has been the Natty winner at LSU. Atlanta has a perimeter scoring party that prevents defense from collapsing completely on Angel. Angel supplies an elite offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding to the show. Her physicality complements Atlanta's athletic guards and wings. She can affect games without requiring every offensive possession. Her personality brings additional energy, attention, and expectations, just like she did with Erica Wheeler. She said, "This is my shit." And guess what, y'all? I don't give a damn what y'all think. This is my shit. And if you don't like it, and if you don't like Angel Reese on this channel, get your mark ass up out of here. Because this right here is about how I do it, how I kick it. Because what?
This Chicago, nigga.
Yeah, this is what I do. Let me flex my goddamn muscle, and you listen to the shit that I'm bringing to you. That's all I need to do. Be quiet just a little bit and let me talk my shit. Anyway, Angel Reese went against the Los Angeles on July the 13th. Reese delivered 23 points and 13 rebounds, recording her league-leading 16th double-double as Atlanta won 101-92. Official recap. That was not an empty production. Atlanta needed a closer. And Angel Reese contributed important late points, including a three-pointer and a free throw that she was hitting at the end of the game. She took it over. We all saw it happen. As she keeps growing and growing and growing and growing, Angel Reese has now been the product of real entertainment in basketball history. Angel Reese is the product of real entertainment in basketball history. Chicago questioned the value of Angel Reese because they had some dumb-ass bastards who was greedy, filthy, nasty, disgusting liars. Chicago will never be able to get over, or they have to watch the whole entire tandem and have to sit there and say, well, at that time, we didn't know who she was. You a goddamn lie. Because everybody was telling you. Atlanta built around her value, and now everybody can see what she is when Alicia Gray said, come on here. Come here. Don't go to Dallas. I know you love Paige, but come on here. We gonna go on here and we gonna do it with you. And if you think this is the only about one good reason that I have because that's my player, no. Let's examine the history that she already has been making. The historic rebound double-double dominance, Angel Reese became the fastest player in WNBA history to reach 1,000 career rebounds, accomplished in her 79th game. She has also accumulated more double-doubles through the beginning of her career than any previous WNBA player at the same stage. People sometimes attempt to dismiss rebounding. As Azare Stevens said, rebounding ain't a skill. Why don't you try to get you a bang-yang over your forehead, Azare? I'm just saying, I love you, you own Chicago and everything, but saying that rebounding ain't a skill, Azare, I don't know what to tell you. Come on, $1 Million Baby, then prove it. You ain't really proved it up to this part. You only had one game that you was the leading scorer over here in this Chicago streets. Yeah, we gonna put your damn feet to the fire saying some shit like that. Angel Reese makes it look so routine, and she make it look so easy, but breaking league records that never have been done before. She led the WNBA in rebounding during each of her first 2 seasons. She led the league, and she is leading the league again in 2026. She has demonstrated elite rebounding across different teams and systems. Her production traveled from Chicago to Atlanta. Her motor has remained her most dependable skill. The last point destroys one of the biggest arguments against Angel. People claim her numbers were created by Chicago's system. Now she has changed teams and continue to be producing. Not only Angel, that's right, in her rookie season to right now, she had 3 different coaches, 3 different systems, 3 from Coach Spoon to silent ass Marsh and to now questionable Semesco. I'm just saying, Angel has been going through this productive situation in her whole entire career coming into the W. Stop gaslighting me. Stop telling me that Caitlin Clark is better than this girl. Stop telling me what you want Caitlin Clark to be and what Angel Reese has proven to be the real #1 overall pick. I told y'all I'm here to talk my shit, and this was going to be a good one tonight. I told y'all I've been up since 8 o'clock in the 7 o'clock in the morning. Gave you a show at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm here, goddammit, at 10 at night to give you some motherfucking hot fire. I know some of y'all don't like it when I cuss, but I'm sorry I got that out because I'm passionate about my Angel Reese. Stop moving the goalposts when it comes to my baby goat. The first they said she could rebound at a professional level. Then she led the league. Then they said she couldn't score. Now she's averaging 15 points a game. Then they said the double-doubles didn't matter. Now she's helping a winning team. At the same point, you have to stop changing the test and admit that Angel Reese keeps passing all of the bullshit that you bring to the table on point. Is Angel Reese already the greatest rebounder in her generation? Put a yes or no in the chat. I still want to hear from you. Stand up, goddammit. Tonight is the night to be called to the forefront and tell me where you at. Because I'm standing and stepping with who I'm stepping with. I knew a show was going to come up, and y'all brought this type of shit out of me. Because I'm tired of sitting up in here talking about Caitlin Clark and the bullshit that y'all continuously talking over there on them sellout-ass YouTube channels, the ones that's paid for Caitlin Clark, the ones, the ham bone heads, yeah, the ham bone hitting your ham bone ass mother suckers. I'm tired of that. Put your money where your mouth is. But I guarantee I'm gonna be the winner tonight. I guarantee that I will be the victor in who I chose to be my baby goat. I'm gonna tell y'all something about Barbie Night and the powerful brand that she bringing. Chicago Sky missed on that, chat. Many ways that Chicago could have capitalized. The Sky could have capitalized on Angel Reese, on top of bringing revenue and bringing monies and people to the game, but also they missed out on a legend in her 3rd year. Barbie is more than a nickname. It represents Angel's ability to combine toughness, femininity, fashion, confidence, and elite competition without apologizing for any of it. Just like they say that Caitlin Clark, she's a straight, white, Christian woman. Angel Reese is a straight, black, beautiful bold, and yes, God-fearing and motivated black woman. So y'all stop that. And this is what they do. They try to put the white powder cake over the black powder cake and call the white cake angel food cake. And they call the chocolate cake devil's food cake. No, we ain't going for that shit today. No, you better recognize her identity. You better recognize who Angel Reese is. She could create conversations before the game even start. Listen, they doing a whole scout on how to stop Angel Reese right now today. They pulling their hair out because the next game that she played, they got to try to figure out how to stop Angel Reese or not let Angel Reese take over the game towards the end of the game if it's a chance to win. She creates conversations before the game even starts. Young fans connect with her because of her confidence. She attracts viewers who might not otherwise watch. She embraced pressure instead of hiding from it. She take it on. That's why she told y'all ass, the hate watchers that's in the back, I'm the villain. And you know my favorite saying, you need people like me. Yeah, I'm the bad guy, but you need me. You need people like me so you can point your smiling, stinky, scumbag fingers at me and say, look at her. She's the bad guy. Her production gives substance to her personality. Sometimes athletes produce, sometimes athletes attract attention. Angel Reese does it both. And the combination is extremely valuable. And everybody loves who come in contact with Angel. The soft, gentle heart, the one who we all say that we love. The Barbie is in the building. Go ahead, MSL, and cook. I know you've been waiting.
Wait, you want me to talk after all that?
Hey, we talking about Angel Reese because she got a whole lot of shit to talk about. Still, I ain't even touched the spear of this shit.
Okay, so you want to finish?
No, I want you to go ahead in the comparison and what I brought you up for is mainly the edification of Angel, but also dealing with the Caitlin Clark situation that we're dealing with, the debacle, the disrespect.
Because I see you in rare form tonight.
Oh, they didn't piss me off with this shit because
of what happened in the Valkyries game, or because the game against the game against what was the team? LA was a few days ago, right?
Yes.
So why you so hot? Why you so hot?
I'm hot because
you talk about rubbing honey on your chest and all this stuff. I mean, that was a bit too visual for me.
People in my comments leaving me comments talking about I'm a hater and Caitlin Clark this, and all my shows are only successful for Caitlin Clark. But I beg to differ. So go ahead. Since they want to do a comparison of what Angel brings to the table, it's already over 100 people in the building.
Before I start, we have to review, if it's okay for you.
Go ahead.
What we did last night. I don't know if T Carmela's on the chat, but I remember previously when you told me about the show and we were trying to figure out the time, T Carmela was doing the right thing, being nanny with an N. She was like, well, make sure you come on, cause because remember we was trying to figure out, was it 2 hours or 1 hour? I thought it was 1 hour, but you was telling me 2 hours, but I guess you never been on the East Coast, so I'm not even gonna comment on how you don't know that. But but she was very worried. So I'm glad we were able, to get on after you sent me the link like 2 seconds before I was supposed to come on. Right. So, but I think, I actually listened to the show because I didn't tell you this, but I actually had a headache, right? Because I had a really, really bad headache and I didn't take anything for it to come on the show. So when I realized what it was, I was like, oh man. I said, I got to go on because I didn't tell him I wasn't going to go on. So I thought I was going to be terrible. But then, because your head hurts, so you're not sure how your communication sound. But everybody seemed to like the show, and then I went back and listened to it, and actually I sounded halfway decent, and you were great. So I thought the show. We talked about Caitlin Clark in that game, right? Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. I knew I said that for a reason. Didn't you show the video in that game?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I hate to tell you this. Unless I'm mistaken, you can go back and look at it, or someone in the chat can say it. I tried to look at that video, bro, Claude, and I think they took your video out, YouTube.
They probably did.
Yeah, I don't want to start something,
they probably clipped it.
Yeah, they clipped it. So, like I said before, anytime the power structure does this, they did this during COVID. They do this during elections. They do this when they want to start wars. They do this when they're trying to shove somebody down your throat, like Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica Koch, etc., etc. Some people would argue the government bought up a lot of the big social media companies, or the government co-ops big social media companies. Depends on which one. And I'll be quick with this. Don't worry, I'm not going to go on a benediction. For an example, Google, Serge, forgot his last name, one of the two founders, he went through a Stanford University master's program, and he was funded by the U.S. government, by one of the CIA's incubators called InQtel. They funded Google, one of the founders. They were parts of that, and they've done that with a lot of the big tech companies. And not to get in all that. So as you move forward, particularly from 2020 when Trump was elected and the whole COVID nonsense popped off, they've been using social media against us. And whether it's bots, whether it's they pay people to talk about, and obviously this all falls into Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, because normally you wouldn't think something like this would follow in sports. But just like everything else in life, you know how you had the space program in the 60s, and a lot of the materials that they used to go in space, they now, is now everyday products. It's the same thing with that. A lot of the stuff that they use for wars and politics and things like that has now filtered down to what they call the social media marketplace and different things like that. So now you can be paid to mention certain names, or to mention certain topics, or to talk about certain people that companies will pay for, and it comes off like a regular person. But that's not how it works, because if a corporation or a foreign country that the U.S. is in bed with wants you to feel sorry for them, they'll put out a bounty for a certain topic, and they'll pay you $7,000, $5,000 every time you talk about it, etc. And some people, if they're really big podcasters or YouTube people, they'll get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for each thing that they do. So a lot of these Clarky channels, like I always talk about, from my perspective, from what I know of how this stuff works and how I look at it, most of them I think are paid. They're paid. That's why they only talk about Caitlin Clark and nothing about Caitlin Clark, and they never criticize Caitlin Clark, because they're paid, because there's no other way it can actually work. Now, you probably have people who probably haven't heard you before, so I'll just give a quick summary to what you were saying. I know you talked about Angel a lot, but let me just say this real quick since you talked about Angel. Now, because one of the things that I always say that I love to say, because I love for anyone to ever challenge me. So far, no one has ever challenged me on it, but I'm still waiting for someone to say, hey, I want to challenge you on this. And one of the things I always start off with saying was Caitlin Clark is not who they tell you she is. She's not. Caitlin Clark was not this huge college star that they tell you she was. She was not. I know Brian Lewis had mentioned to me before the 2023 title game, the stands in Iowa weren't even that full. I don't know if that's true or not, but Brian is a pretty reputable guy, so I'll take his word for it that it really wasn't that full. I didn't hear about her much. I knew who she was from looking at high school rankings, so we might as well bring in Angel there. Initially, Angel was considered the #1 ranked high school player in 2020. And then later that year, people got to see Paige, and Paige became the #1 high school ranked player. Some of the publications still had Angel, but most people just say page because they go off of ESPN or whatever, but it was actually both of them. You could actually see like a hoops hype or whatever they call it video where it says the number one player in the country, Angel Reese. But what is true is that both of those two players were consensus number one and two players, meaning that there was considerable distance between the other players. So whether it was Camila Cardozo, whether it was Cam Brink, I think Caitlin Clark was about number 5 or something that year. And what's important about that is they give you a profile of the players. And Angel was a wing. She was not a center. She was not a forward. She was a wing, which means she shot, she handled, she dribbled the ball. Before
Yeah.
she was a wing, she was a point guard.
Yes.
But she was a wing coming out of high school. And when she got to Maryland, she was like a hybrid. She played wing, she played forward, she dribbled the ball up and down the court a lot. She shot mid-range jumpers, she took threes, and she posted up, etc. So, but that's the Angel that nobody wants to talk about
Averaging
in the
24
WNBA, right?
Right.
They don't want to talk about that because if you saw, matter of fact, I saw a video of her at Maryland, and someone actually said, "Oh, well, because of her injury, she can't play like that anymore." I just thought that was the most hilarious. Oh no, they said, "Look at her before her injury." I just thought that was the most hilarious thing, almost to say, "Oh well, she used to play like that." That was the excuse to say, "Oh well, she can't play like that anymore." Obviously, which is just dumb. Now, when she went to LSU, Kim Mulkey saw something in her that she didn't see in herself. But part of it was because the team, I think forgot her name, Zayla, but she played center technically, and Angel played power forward. It'll come back to me, her name. That was the year they won the title. And then in 2023, 2024, they brought over Anissa and HVL. So Del Rosario was supposed to play center,
Right.
but you weren't
Real.
but you weren't going to bring over Anissa and HVL and then ask one of them to come off the bench. Initially, Mulkey did bring Anissa off the bench for the first few games, and then she probably realized how good it was, and she said, "Screw the charade. I'm just, Anissa." So Anissa started at power forward, and Angel started at center. So you had some idiots who say, "Oh, she should go back and play center like she did in college," but that was only because of necessity, because either Del Rosario sucked, take that one, or because Mulkey didn't want to waste the talent like Anissa coming off the bench because she was that much better than Del Rosario. But even when she played center at LSU, she still went coast to coast. She still brought the ball up the court. She still helped break the press. She still did downhill drives from the perimeter, etc., etc. She shot a couple of mid-ranges every once in a while. She didn't shoot many threes at LSU. She shot more threes at Maryland than she did at LSU. But she was always a hybrid. But more importantly, everyone knew this. And in that junior year, depending on the publications you read, she averaged 23 or 24 points and 14 to 15 rebounds, which are incredible stats. Now there's a YouTube compilation. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it's one of the best compilations I've seen of that 2023 champion season. They took words that Angel used in an interview. It's called Breathe and Believe. It's on YouTube. All they do is take the highlights of every single LSU game that year, and they compress it in one video. So it's like a story and a montage, but it's done strictly through the video of the games with the announcers. And there's no way you could look at that, one, and not come away and say two things. Angel Reese is a flipping incredible ball player. That's one. And two, say that Angel Reese was the heart and soul of that team. Because remember, they played in the SEC with Aaliyah Boston and all these tough teams. So, and she's scoring 35 points, 20 rebounds, 36 points, 18 rebounds, 27 points, 14 rebounds, again in the SEC. one of the arguments that people make with Clark when they say, well, why is she not what she's supposed to be now in the WNBA? And one of the arguments some people make is that she played in the Big Ten, which was a weaker conference. Ironically, when Angel was at Maryland, she played Caitlin Clark on more than several occasions. And I think they won most, if not all of those games. I'm sure someone in the chat, probably Brian Lewis, will let me know about that. So she was familiar with Caitlin. She was familiar with Caitlin from high school. She was familiar with Caitlin in the Big Ten. So they had that quote unquote rivalry back then, but nobody knew, nobody cared because a lot of people didn't pay attention to college basketball until that 2023 explosion took place. So that following year, well, after they won the championship, let me just say this. Since I put this in the intro, after they won the championship, Angel's NIL exploded to over 2, 3, some people say almost $4 million a year. And they've done documentaries and videos on it. Moneyball, I think, was one of them. And there were others. There's a publication I always mention, ON3, that actually tabulated that. So all you got to do is go back and look at the dates. And you'll see that Angel was crushing it. She was winning SVs. She had the highest Q rating. She had the highest web searches. She was on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue with the gymnast. I forgot her name, also from LSU. The gymnast, who, by the way, was the highest NIL athlete in college sports. Gabby Dunn, I think her name was, but she was making like $6 million a year, doing the gymnast. And I bring her up because a lot of people think Caitlin Clark naturally would make more money because she's white. That's not true. Not true. Because as I always like to say, the biggest endorsers are actually, at least in this country, are black athletes, not white athletes. But this one, Livy Dunn, I think that was her name. This white athlete actually made money. You know why? Because she was pretty, she was cute, she looked good, she had a nice personality, and she knew how to sell herself. Everything the complete opposite of Caitlin Clark. And guess what? Livy Dunn was also an LSU athlete.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, that documentary did Livy Dunn, Flage, and Angel, if I remember correctly, from LSU, because they were all excelling in NIL. Caitlin Clark was not. Her NIL was approximately $300K to $500K. And it's funny because now I'm hearing other people bring up some of the stuff that I used to talk about, where I heard someone the other day say, hey, did you know all that NIL money that Caitlin Clark got actually came from official WNBA sponsors? And I'm like, good, okay. Because my whole thing is, this is not going to happen all at once, but eventually, if enough people in the grassroots know and talk about it, it'll eventually grow to the point where, just like how everybody knows the government lies, or this person does this, or politicians are full of crap, whatever, take it. Hopefully with this, people will just push back, because I think the biggest problem that people are unfamiliar with the dynamics of women's college basketball because they didn't follow it. But if you go back to 2023, 2024, that's where everything gets shown and proven. That's where you can prove every lie about Caitlin Clark, which is why they never want to talk about what happened in 2023 and 2024, because they know if you go back there, you can show and prove 100% that she's a 100% fake and phony. Because after America got to see both players, right? Both players in 2023, they got to see both. They were there for the national championship. Okay, LSU won. Angel was tournament MVP, right? She averaged 23, 24, whatever you want to say, 15 rebounds for the year. And I think for the tournament, she averaged 20-something points as well for the tournament, and similar amount of rebounds, right? So they took that championship game where Angel played very well in the first quarter. Jasmine, forgot her last name, but the one that scored like 20 points in one quarter, she played very well in the second quarter. And then in the third and fourth quarter, the third quarter was Alexis Morris. She did well. And then in the fourth quarter, that was Lastia Poa and Kateri Poole. So at some point in the game, Angel realized, oh wow, everybody's playing well. So she chilled. And anyone who watches her, which I'm sure most of y'all do, you can see that in Angel's personality because she's not a greedy athlete. So she scored 13 points, if I remember correctly, in the first quarter. And then she ended up with about 15 points for the game. So what they do is these bots and paid shills, they go, oh, she was the third or fourth best player on that team with LSU, and they go by that national championship game. And because people are stupid or they don't know, they're hoping that people accept that as the truth, because when it makes no sense. Because how does, as someone in the chat said, finally, I don't remember their full name, said, how someone who averages 24 points and 15 rebounds is totally dominant, especially in the SEC. This is the SEC. She was SEC Player of the Year. That young lady, Malaysia's her first name, the one that chucks a lot for Vanderbilt. The one that chucks, she just broke Angel's record of like 8 20-point games in a row in the SEC. So Angel had broken a lot of records in the SEC. So when she won that national championship, she was the biggest woman star in college basketball. The previous 2 years, it was Paige Beckers until Paige got hurt, right? But it was Paige Beckers. So you had Paige Beckers and Angel. Is there a wonder why Paige and Angel have such a bond? Boom, right? Going back to high school, 1 and 2. They're always linked. And then even the following year, that LSU team was the most talked about team. Like I always say, they were like the Jackson 5. You had Anissa Morrow, you had Flage, you had Angel, you had HVL. They were supposed to win, repeat for national championship. Everybody had them number 1, and everyone covered the team every day. Nobody talked about Iowa. Iowa was still not in the picture. Caitlin Clark was still not in the conversation. When Caitlin got in the conversation was obviously when they beat LSU in the Elite 8 in 2024. Angel had whether you want to say it's because Angel sprained ankle, Flage or someone else not playing Clark, or Kim Mulkey threw it, as some people say, or they were tired because she only played about 6-7 players because of all the injuries and suckage they had in Del Rosario up into that time. So when LSU lost, and I'm sure Broclaw, this breaks his heart, Angel cried, when they lost in the press conference. And then all of these idiots started coming out and making fun of her and sending sexual stuff, stuff, and all this other stuff. But that has to have us go back to the national championship to see where all this BS started with the social media, right? Well, as I've said many, many times, if you go back and watch the end of that game, that John Cena that Angel did is the most overrated thing that's ever happened in college sports. Because as I've said before on this channel, what Dawn Staley and Gino did at the end of a game, that's a real incident the end of a game.
Yes.
That's a real incident. But nobody will remember that. But everybody wants to remember Angel holding up her ring. But the reason why I say it's the biggest nothing burger ever is because no one on TV said a word. No player said a word. No ref said a word. The coaches didn't. It all happened in silence. It was in silence. Like nobody talked because they were just taking in the celebration of LSU winning. But nobody said when it happened or after it happened, on the post-game interview, the post-game show, the studio show, the people who sit on the chairs on the court. None of that. Nobody said a word because it was nothing. It was nothing. So when I talked about how they use social media, it started here against Angel, because what happened? Dave Portnoy, Keith Olbermann, and some others, they got on the internet and they started cussing out Angel and saying they didn't like it. And then Portnoy made this promise, or was happy to say, oh, I defamed Angel Reese and all this stuff, and started bragging. And that's when the hit jobs from the Peanut Gallery started on Angel. But here's the thing, y'all. A lot of black folks think that's where the hate from Angel now comes from. I don't think so. Because after they won the national championship, right, the Hicks, whatever you want to call them, the Yahoos, they kind of got over it and kind of disappeared.
No,
however,
that's wrong. That's wrong, brother. Let me
no,
tell
and that's
you,
cool.
Let me tell you, and then you can keep on cooking. I want to jog your memory. Joe Biden's wife kicked all this shit off because after the sitting president, first lady, invited Caitlin Clark in the Iowa Hawkeyes to the presidential house, and they lost the game, and it never happened before. That's when all of the hoopla, when LSU refused to come, that's when it kicked off.
But you know what I think that all, you know what I think that also did though? I think that also indicates the unison of the power structure against this girl. If Joe Biden's wife,
Joe Biden is a racist anyway.
No, right. He's a 40-year racist. Always been a racist.
Always been a racist.
And he always supported.
And I ain't speaking allegedly because he has.
No, it's a fact. No, it's a fact. He supported Strom Thurmond. He supported women. He supported segregationists. Yeah, he's a fondler. Yeah, he's not a nice guy. And unfortunately, since you brought it up, I'm going to say it. Since you brought it up, and unfortunately, when he ran, I think it 2020. When he ran in 2020, the media suppressed all of his racist history by paying off all these black media people to not talk about what he did, because we accept the media to not talk about certain things, but we allegedly trust these black people in the media, and there were a whole bunch of them, including Swollen Roland. I'll just throw his name out there. Swollen Roland, who was capping for Joe Biden, knowing that he was 10 times the racist that Donald Trump ever was. And I know most black people think Donald Trump is like an avowed racist, but if you really break down,
but he said it on his show. He said, "Well, we got to choose between two of the worst."
Right, and Biden, Biden was not a nice guy. But anyway, going back to last thing, it was kind of like Bill Clinton, who was another one, right? What they do, and I'll segue this into Angel. What they do is they'll say, remember when they said Bill Clinton? I think Toni Morrison was the one who said it. Who said, "Oh, he's the first black president because he played the saxophone on Arsenio. He's getting ahead in the White House with Monica Lewinsky. He was a fat boy that was, until he slimmed down. He was a fat boy that was like a good old boy." So Toni Morrison, said, "Oh, he's the first black president." Well, they say that because this is the same dude up until that time had incarcerated the highest percentage of black males under 25 years old in the penal system than any other president before him, or at least in the 30 or 40 years before that. We all heard that statistic. 1 out of every 4 black males were part of the penal system. That was Bill Clinton. And the reason why it happened was some of his highest funders when he ran were people in the prison industrial complex. So the people who funded him to build prisons, well, lo and behold, guess what? He put all these young black men in jail. So you got to watch for the okie doke. So when Joe Biden said, "Oh, well, there's nobody more blacker than me," well, that's already set up. You know that's the okie doke. So when they tell you that Caitlin Clark is this, Caitlin Clark is that, well, that's the okie doke. When they tell you that Angel Reese is this and this is that, well, that's the okie doke, because that's the power structure working for you. So getting back to Caitlin Clark, so they lost in the national championship game, right? Now, here's the most important thing about Caitlin Clark that they will never, ever, ever talk about. And I always ask this question. If in 2023, when she lost the national title, if everything stood still and nothing happened for her, outside of a couple of yahoos liking her, but her NIL right? All that stuff that's supposed to make you see. Black people remember this, and LSU fans remember this, and Angel Reese fans remember. Like they remember that Angel was like going everywhere. She was everywhere. They remember this. You can't burn that from their memory. But a lot of the people who are in the chat now who didn't follow college basketball, they don't know. And I would argue that a lot of the people we're arguing with, they either don't know or they're bots and paid shills and all this other stuff. So, of course, they wouldn't know. So she lost the national title to North Carolina. Raven shut her ass down in the second half to where she had scraps, right? Gino and Tarasi and all these people said, well, I don't think she's going to do that well in the pros because she's weak. She's not explosive. She's not athletic, and her attitude. So then check this out, y'all. So then all of us. So if you remember, Angel got a sneaker deal in 2023 with Reebok, right? In November 2023. That's when she officially signed. According to her, Shaq offered her the deal in 2022.
Yes.
Right. Also, what happened in 2022, Nike signed a strategic agreement with guess who? The WNBA. Now, this part I'm going to say is my speculation. This part. I think they signed that deal because they wanted Angel. Right?
That
because
is true.
Because the deal also said that they could write stories, change this. How you doing, Paige? I didn't know you were on. Change this, change that. It was a lot of stuff in it, right? But they can write stories and they can tell stories. So that was in 2022. And then Angel turned them down in 2023, which she confirmed with the Michelle Obama, Craig Robinson interview that she turned down all the major sneaker companies she had said. So guess what? Caitlin Clark did not sign with Nike in 2022 or 2023. She signed with Nike in 2024, along with all official WNBA sponsors. Because you're still titleless. You don't have a title. Your looks didn't change. Your personality didn't change. Your basketball game didn't change. Nothing changed. So when people say, oh, Caitlin Clark, the question I ask is, well, what changed with Caitlin Clark, or what makes her any different than Ionescu or Paige or all these other people? The difference is, as Angel has talked about, and if Paige is on here, I'm sure she can confirm it, even though we've heard it on her show, was that they went to both of them and said, hey, we want you to sign with us through the WNBA to get your endorsements and so forth like that. But there are a couple of strings and stipulations to this. And Angel talked about this. And one of the stipulations that Angel mentioned, and I'm sure there were others, but the only reason why she mentioned this was because she had a manager on her show. So she had to reference her manager. And she said that they asked her, she had to get rid of her manager, the one who quit her corporate job because she believed in Angel so much that she was willing to manage only Angel. Can y'all believe that for those who never heard this before?
Hey, MSL, real quick. I got to do this real quick. Hey, my baby Paige. Hey, real quick, y'all.
Well, you're the one who did the benediction earlier that told me to just flow.
No.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hold on a second. Real quick. Happy birthday, ADP.
Happy birthday,
I love you. Hey, one of my biggest and best friends. She is a wonderful lady. I love you. I appreciate you. She here on her birthday. And hey, she is working the chat.
How she work at 5 a.m. this morning if it was her birthday?
Hey, that's what she do.
You's a good woman, ADP. You's a good woman, girl.
I love you. Hey, MSL, before you keep cooking, baby Paige, I know you got a lot because, of course, you was at LSU.
She's close. She down there.
LSU, and I just want to hear, and I'm glad that you came because that's how God works, though. When you flowing, God gonna always put it there and bring the good people around. Go ahead. Can we get some of the perspective in your?
What did you think about some of what I said, Paige?
You're right on most of it. I'll just say the 24 season, I feel like from what I've heard and being a little bit more on the inside of it, the 24 season was a lot of emotion and a lot of stuff
Drama.
that really shouldn't have been there. And that's why Angel really hasn't been back to LSU at all. Because they treated
Mm,
her like, I don't know if I could say this word, but they treated her like garbage at
mm-hmm,
LSU that year.
mm-hmm,
From security to people, like, it's ridiculous.
mm,
Like, they treated her like she was the second string to Flage.
mm-hmm.
And they still do. And I'm like, why?
If that was the case, why do you think Angel made up with Kim? Or you don't feel
Kim,
Kim had anything to do with it?
Kim didn't have anything to do with it. It just
No,
mostly goes by LSU and the NIL department, I'll say.
in the homegrown type of thing they got with her because she came there all 4 years. That's
Yeah.
really baby Page because she was
Yeah.
homegrown and they really which baby Page will contest to, they really love their homegrown and successful players, especially when LSU was their first choice and first school and last school. When they stay all 4 years, it's kind of like they shade others, which they had no right because Angel
Yeah.
brought them a goddamn natty.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
how I
saying?
look at it. I've heard people say that, but that don't even make no sense because she was the number one transfer that year. And as y'all all know, she wasn't even supposed to go there. It was Kateri Poole, who she was cool with at the time and who she may still be cool with now, that was just taking a trip to LSU. And she said, okay, I'll go. At least that's the official story. But as we all know, she was supposed to go to South Carolina and she'd even end up in South Carolina because she liked LSU so much. So they
Mm-hmm.
should be
Yeah.
thankful that Angel went there because she was supposed to be with Dawn. Imagine her with Aaliyah
She was
Boston.
gonna be with Don. They would never lost. With Camilla,
Yeah.
already with Camilla from college. Oh no!
Yeah, Camilla would have been on the bench and she would have played, and her and Boston would have played alongside each other
Listen,
in that junior year.
listen. All I know
And
is,
maybe she would have made Boston a little blacker.
Oh
well,
my God.
all I know is that with Angel impact, even in college, it was second to none because
Absolutely. And
because
they
you
try to
had
memory hold us out of our memory and make us forget that.
because you got to think about this girl in the last 5 years. She come from Maryland, the Maryland system. That's 1 year
Yeah.
in college. Then she went to LSU. That's
She
another.
did 2 years at Maryland.
Right, 2 years at
Yeah.
Maryland.
Hmm.
She went to LSU 2 years. Then she
And
came.
played entirely different at both schools.
Then she
Yeah.
went to. Then she came to the W. Played for Teaspoon. Then she
Who
played
played her
Tyler.
one way,
Then she played for Tyler Marsh.
who played her a complete different way.
And then
Yeah.
now with Semesco, she has 5 coaches in a 6-year period. That's an average of a coach a year.
Yeah.
And Caitlin Clark don't know how to play with the same coach for the last 2 years and the coach
She was
before
with
that
Bruder
the year
all
before.
this whole time.
Yeah, because they keep wanting her to play this way and she wants to play her way. And that's been the struggle, which has now been more communicated in public. But all this, as you know, Bro Claude, was going on with Christy Sides because Christy Sides was platooning her and benching her in
Yes.
fourth quarters because she was terrified. And since I brought that up, I got to say this for you because I thought about you. That rookie year that Caitlin Clark had, with the 40% shooting and the 25% 3-pointers and the 5+ turnovers a game, and the fact that you're being benched and platooned in the fourth quarters, which of course no one in the media mentioned. She should have never seen fourth in MVP voting, and she damn sure shouldn't have seen first team All NBA. That was part of the system, which we almost there, but we didn't get to yet. However, the year that Olivia Miles is having this year, that is what they wanted us, Caitlin Clark's year, to be in 2020.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is what Olivia Miles is doing this year, because she's shooting 51%. Her team is number one. Her team is number one in the league. She's closing out games. Caitlin Clark was not closing out games her rookie season or even now. That was either Kelsey Mitchell and or Aaliyah Boston. So a lot of times she would fail in the fourth quarter, or she wasn't even on the court in the fourth quarter. The team would win, and then the media would attribute it to her. And for those who don't watch the games, they just go kind of like what you said about Jarrell. They broke her a perfect example. It's like, oh, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark ain't have nothing to do with it. There was stretches of her rookie season where she was playing terribly. But Kelsey Mitchell was bailing them out. So what we saw last year in the playoffs actually happened in her rookie season, where they played so well without her. One sick Kelsey Mitchell away from the WNBA finals, which they would probably beat Phoenix, most people believe. But this also happened in her rookie season. But because of all the gaslighting and all the glazing that they were doing for her, most people don't realize that. But so it's a shame that Olivia Miles is doing what she's doing now, because this should have been the season that they claim Clark's season was in 2024, which pales in comparison to what Olivia Miles is doing now.
Well,
I agree.
what I would say is, basically, we know who was the number one draft pick overall. I say it and say it again, and I put my chest out for it, that Angel Reese was clearly the number one draft pick out of all 6 of the girls, the young ladies that was picked in front of her. She's the outstanding, unanimous number one overall draft pick.
Well, you know, they did the hit job on her when she didn't take the corporate deal.
Well, we know that part, but
Yeah.
she's not selected as a starter during this all-star game. Doesn't even matter. The distinction of it doesn't matter, because voting often is because of statements about the status and popularity and respect. 50%.
But I don't believe those votes though, bro, Claude, because it's kind of like, if I can say this, it's kind of like what I said to you about Aaliyah Boston, because we can take things that we know of, right? Because otherwise people say you're speculating, right? So we know about the FIBA vote, right? 4 million votes for Angel, 2 million votes for Paige, 1 million votes for Clark. And what did they do? They shut down the site, got rid of it, all that stuff.
They got rid of the site.
Right, they got rid of it. You can't even snapshot the site or reference the site. So obviously that's very, very suspicious, because if the voting was legit,
plus,
why would you get rid of?
Didn't get their ballots.
Right, why'd you get rid of the site?
Over 6 teams, 6 of the 15 teams didn't even receive full ballots.
That too.
Voting.
That also.
That too. And then you got Boston.
Check it out. To start the combination of everything and to determine exactly what happened with 50% of the voting, and knowing that Angel Reese is the actual leader in social media. That was a shade game, a sham, and a setup in the way that they did the things, that the way that they done it with the players. Also had a reduction of votes for Angel, on top of the shaving from the fans, because they have to sell a product that Caitlin Clark is the most beloved player of the WNBA. They have to shave those points from Angel, those votes from Angel, because they had already, and what this show is about, they chose the wrong one. And now they're trying to stop repercussions. But she keeps on doing everything, this nutty fruit bar. She keeps on doing it, this payday nut bar with the sweet candy caramel on top. She keeps popping off, and they can't control her attitude. They can't control the way that she takes and consumes the popularity, the entitlement, the white privilege. They can't stop this girl right now because she has been put on a certain plateau where now, just now in the third year, because she only played 13 games last year, but this year put some more on a microscope, like the Chicago Sky was on a microscope, guys. Caitlin Clark is on a microscope. And Adam Silver said some things that I'm going to go over real quick, MSL. But Adam Silver pissed me off today and tonight. And this is why I was fired up. And then I'm a just, y'all want to know my motivation of why? I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you why. Because I got to let y'all know that this whole WNBA setup is like the WWF. Now,
absolutely.
Let's go.
Yeah.
The CNBC, the report says that effectively the WNBA was not necessarily going to penalize the Thomas situation, but that you stepped in and said that it had to happen. Silver, let me give you a serious answer to that question. I think that ultimately the issue around Caitlin Clark are not largely about officiating. See, he gaslighting and he deflecting. And that particular incident is not about whether a foul should have been called at the time of the game or whether that was ultimately a flagrant non-review. I've come to know Caitlin really well. He didn't say I know Alyssa Thomas in the history that she has brought to this game.
Alyssa Thomas been in that league a whole lot longer than Caitlin Clark.
The sacrifice that Alyssa Thomas has done over multiple years. But anyway, I've come to know Caitlin very well. She's an incredible player and also an incredible person. And she wants to focus on being the best player she can. And she's become a bit of political football in this country. And I think it's incredibly unfair to her. I don't think that issue is ultimately about officiating. It's about becoming political ping pong with her. And she's a young woman who tries to improve her game. Focus on being the best player as she can. And I don't even think it's fair to her. And this has become a separate storyline about one foul. Should it have been called in time or should it have been called a flagrant? That's my response. People are allowed to think whatever they can and whatever they want about our league. But there's so much to celebrate around the WNBA. I was part of the group that wrote the original business plan for 30 years ago. And where women's sports has come, we missed our numbers for many years in the WNBA. But then it turned the corner. Businessman, you're now seeing off the chart valuations of the WNBA teams. Joe and Clara Tessie have done an incredible job here in New York with the Liberty. Caitlin came along, brought the entire new audience, and it began when she was still in college to the game. Young girls, women, men across the board, people who never had been paying attention to women's basketball, and then it became a rising tide. Because of the quickly all saw it was just Caitlin. He's a liar. There's enormous talent in this league. Let me finish. But I'm going to let you get it. That's why I'm reading it. But as I said, do we need to improve the WNBA officiating? No doubt about it. But my day job is getting complaints about NBA officiating. Silver, I'm not going to comment on that. It says CNBC, but fair to say you stepped in. Silver, I'm not going to comment on that, which means yes, he did. because I
Yeah.
don't think it's fair to Caitlin and to Kathy either. I think that's not the real issue here. Deflecting.
Yeah, he ain't want to
What
deal with it
people
because he knew what he said.
what people are trying to make a larger issue around that, not as the whether that was a flagrant foul or not. Obviously, the league decides after the fact that not only should a foul have been called, but it was a flagrant foul. Yes, we need to improve the WNBA officiating, and there's a lot of work to be done on the NBA officiating as well. But I really think there's an opportunity to support Caitlin and say, let her be the best basketball player she can be. Now,
Oh my God.
Now, you see, that statement is a contradiction, and here's why. So you essentially want to lay everything on a mental case who can break down. I'm almost wondering now, if she plays a tough team in a tough game, will she assault another player, which we've seen her do before, or assault her coach, or assault an official? If that happens, she has to get kicked out, and you would presume her career is ruined and her career is over. But we'll see if and when it happens. We know it's happened before. But this is why I always say to his lies, why you always got to go back to college, right? Even right now, and after what I told y'all about Google, if you say Caitlin Clark changed women's college basketball, Google will correct you and say no. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark change
yes,
women's basketball. It won't
Yes.
let you say Caitlin Clark. So we all, and this is what Holly Rowe was talking about from ESPN the other day when she said, oh, I feel really bad that Angel's not getting the credit. What she's really saying is, we all know what happened in 2023.
whitewashed.
We all know what happened in 2024. But when the forces that be got together to make this girl the one, they wrote Angel out of history. And this is one of the reasons why I say these people didn't follow college basketball, if they even followed the WNBA, because if they did, they wouldn't believe 90% of the nonsense that they talk about. They're only going by the PR machine. Oh, she's the greatest this, the greatest this. And the WNBA, as you just said, controls everything. Because you know what's so funny? You ever notice in the off season, Angel is always in the news for all the deals or things that she's getting, like nonstop,
Movies.
like the past off season,
Netflix.
and you don't hear a peep out of Clark. You know
Juice,
why?
Juice,
Like, we love to
Cutaways,
joke and say she has no motion, but the
Victoria
real reason
Secret,
is
Victoria's
because nobody's giving her deals. The only
Met
people
Gala.
who give her deals are people affiliated with the WNBA. That's
Couture,
it. Real
Time Magazine.
advertisers are not interested in her. What you said, Brokaw?
I said, I'm just naming everything.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, real advertisers are not interested in her because, once again, they, that Fox
Essence.
thing that you have brought up, right? The Fox thing that you have brought up when they had said, oh, well, let me find it. Hold on. I made a note of this in case you brought it up. Let's see if I find it.
I'm not gonna bring it up on Angel's situation.
No,
It's
I got
Angel
you.
night tonight.
No, but you told me we could talk about it, right?
Yeah.
No, they had
No, I'm
called
saying
her.
I'm not gonna bring up any footage about.
Oh, no. Oh, gotcha. They call her the best shooter, right? We all know that right now, she's not even in the top 20 for three-point shooting percentage. I looked at it before we
You
came
ain't
on.
gotta look at it. You want to look at it?
She
again?
may be in the 40s. She may even be in the 40s. And I know you read it off the other day. And then they talked
this
about
morning.
Right. And then they talked about her winning a championship. Well, she's never won a high school, college, or professional championship ever in her life. So these people were gaslighting. They're not serious. They're reading a script. Just like in politics, when you come on TV and they call it the talking points and they all say the same thing. This is what they do with Caitlin Clark. They have the talking points. None of this stuff is real. It's all a grift. They know this girl ain't got no personality. They know this girl's game is busted.
She on the spectrum.
Right. They know she's out there. They know she's off. But for whatever reason, they chose to pick this girl. Now, the two reasons. The first reason I always said, because they had the CBA coming up, and Tiffy Co likes to talk about this stuff. they couldn't trust Angel Reese because they knew she was pro player. She had a historical, viewpoint of the players. She felt they should get their money, and NECA and Fee and all these people were
Shout out to
talking to
Brian
her
Lewis.
before she got to the pros. So when Kathy and them offered her the corporate deal and she said no, they was pissed because they knew they could not control her because Angel had her own money. Clark, as we all know, did not have her own money that time, but they gave it to her under the guise of NIL. So all of a sudden, overnight, boom, they said Clark had $3-4 million in NIL. But if you actually look at it, it was all official WNBA sponsors. And that's what Fee was talking about when she said Kathy was basically blowing her off. Like, tell that chick go sit down because we hooked her up. It was this, just like how De'Erica Hamby talked about the league likes to control the players by doling out endorsements. And as we know, that they also wanted that in the CBA. So Angel, along with Paige, but Paige is with Nike, so not so much. Angel's not with Nike. She's not with the league officially, and she's not with any big firm officially. So basically, Angel showed all the other players, hey, you don't need the league. You don't have the league. You can do what you want, just like on a micro level. She did the same thing with the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese is actually the most dangerous player in the WNBA to WNBA management, and this is why everybody thinks she's wrongly officiated.
I would say her, Nafisha Collier,
and Asia Wilson.
No, her, Nafisha Collier, and Breonna Stewart. That's it.
Yeah, because and Unrivaled. And that's another conversation, obviously, for another day.
They're the most dangerous three in this league that terrorize Kathy Engelberg every single night.
And
not
these
Asia,
are the
because Asia is with Nike, right?
Yes.
So she's not worried about Asia. Just got to do the outfit. She got to make the points in the agreement of what is agreed upon with her Nike distribution and her Nike contract deal and the other deals that she does along. That she has Asia, unlike Angel. Asia received all of her endorsements and accolades from the WNBA. So therefore, Asia, she has to conduct herself in a certain way in happening. But with Nafisha Collier and Breonna Stewart, they broke those chains, even though like Breonna Stewart ain't with Nike, but Breonna Stewart and everybody else and Nafisha Collier
they got the Connecticut connection that helps them.
Right. They're above everyone else because they started a whole nother league where people actually these girls get off-season money that they don't have to go overseas, but they don't have to go now because of the money now that the WNBA has done in the CBA. If they choose to play overseas, which I don't think most of them will now go overseas, and the focal point will be the WNBA, like the NBA is focused on, which it should be.
I would have much rather had a full-time Unrivaled than dealing with the WNBA as it is now. But go ahead, bro, Claude.
But at this point, Nafisha Collier, Breonna Stewart, and Angel are the most dangerous ones in this league, and it's only three of them. As long as Asia Wilson continues to do what she does, her name is etched in stone. So therefore, Asia meets and overcomes the bar because of her performance, and by her being the GOAT, they cannot diminish or take away anything that she has done up to this part. So that's the only reason Asia Wilson can get over the hump past the rest of the players. But the most dangerous three in the WNBA, no question, is Breonna Stewart, Nafisha Collier, and Angel. They do what the hell they want to do.
But you know what my biggest issue is, bro, Claude, is that the media doesn't, you know how in the NBA, now if you want to call this a disrespect to women, say what you want, but you notice how in the NBA or in baseball they call it the hot stove league, or they call it chatter or scuttlebutt, and you hear all this stuff flying around as far as where's LeBron going, what's this person doing. They don't do that. They don't do that with the WNBA. So, and I think with Angel, they do it on purpose because, for example, her trade, right? They never discussed it, period, because when it happened, they wanted to make it seem like, oh, Angel was just being like whipped in Chicago, right? And then they threw her someplace and she just magically ended up at this great team that could be a contender when obviously a common sense, well, you just wasn't gonna
get out.
Right, you wasn't gonna like be thrown out and then go to a team of your choice. It doesn't work that way. Just like how they don't talk about Angel's pull with the top players in the league. Like we're not supposed to know that she hangs out when they were at Team USA with what Chelsea Gray, Jo, and Kalia Copper. Like they hung out together. They don't talk about, as you know, Asia giving her phone number from an assistant coach in Maryland from when she first got to Maryland, and how the GOAT was already talking to her when she was still at Maryland, et cetera, et cetera. They don't talk about the fact that Angel has way more respect and pull with WNBA players than Caitlin Clark wishes he had. Like, we're not supposed to know any of this stuff. So anything that happens to Angel is by accident. And then we got to argue with these idiots in the chat that tell us, oh no, she got traded for a bag of peanuts because she was terrible in Chicago. And so she just better be happy. You remember your guy, Frank, that was on other sites, Frank White, I'm sure Paige knows him. I got to an argument with him on another site where he claimed Angel was going to average 7 to 9 points a game with Atlanta. And I'm like, dude, are you flipping? So it's ironic that your show's about her being a potential MVP this year or next year. And y'all remember what I said? I said she was going to average 17 to 20 points. I said she was going to average 11 to 12 rebounds. I said she was going to average 4 to 7 assists. She got to get those assists up. I said she was going to average 2 steals. She's at 1.7 now. And I said she'd average 1.5 blocks. She's at 0.7 blocks now. And I had said she'd do 52%, shooting. She's at 42. No, she's at almost 43 now. So she's got, some work to do with that. But these people were saying, oh, just do your job. Just rebound and do your job and nothing else, which is ironic because if Indiana wanted to be good with Clark, she should do her job and pass the ball and stop chucking up shots because you're not a good shooter. Just pass the goddamn ball and get the ball to Kelsey Mitchell. That's your job. Get the ball to Aaliyah Boston. That's your job.
Speaking of shooters, the number 1 3-point shooter in the WNBA, so you guys can have the facts over feelings, is Monique
at like 42%, right?
No, 52.5%.
God damn.
Aaliyah Boston is at 45.8%. Antonia Delary, 45%. Number 3. Number 4, not Caitlin, but Sophie Cunningham. 2 players on the Indiana Fever that's over 40% in shooting. She shoots 43.5%. Leonie Phoebus, 43.3%. Javon Nokic, 42.1%. Michaela Adewale, who we lost on the Chicago Sky, but nobody wanted to listen to me.
That's crazy.
Say, bro, Claude, you glazing. Michaela.
It don't matter. Your coaching staff sucks. She'd have still been on the bench.
She was trash. We don't want her back. Michaela Adewale. No, let me do what I do, bro.
Oh my God.
Eat crow. You know, Baby Paige, what I say. It seems like
But Baby Paige also knows she'd have still been trash in Chicago.
She wasn't trash in the beginning because guess what? She was playing out of position.
She's still playing out of position.
It's called bad coaching.
She's a natural 3. She's playing the 3 and she's successful on the Mystics. Anyway, Han Su is 41.5. Kelsey Mitchell, another Fever player. So you got 1, 2, 3 Fever players shooting over 40%. Kelsey Mitchell, 40.9. And Caitlin Clark Steele is not in the top 10 because that'll be Jackwell Jones at 40.4. Next, of course, the GOAT has to be in the conversation. She's at
The
number
slow goat.
40% on the head. Her, Marina Mabrey, and Megan Gustafson are at 40%. They share that position. At number 14, Janelle Saloon, 39.7. Nakia Nneka Agumake, Nneka Agumake, 39.7. Carla Light is 39.5. Courtney Williams, 39.5. Maya Caldwell, 39.1. Nia Coffey, 39.1. Naomi Brackett, 39.1. Them the top 20 people, and no Caitlin Clark nowhere. No Caitlin Clark nowhere. So,
Nope.
So how is this lady the best shooter the WNBA ever seen?
And Bro Claw, you know what the irony of that is? Her previous 2 years, she shot even worse than what she's shooting now. She was in the 20s.
She was 21% last year in the 13 games.
And she famously last year on the road shot 2 for the road in the entire 2025
She's at right
season.
Now.
And now she's in a bad stretch again. So who knows where the average is going to go? Because she's been, what, 4 for her last 35 3-pointers?
So she's 19% right now.
For the year?
No, in the last 3 games.
Okay, yeah, like 5 for 35 or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, that's about right. 5 for 35, 4 for 35. Yeah.
No,
so if this persists and continue, and I can't see it getting better with all the pressure she's going through, they just may pull the plug on her page. I don't know if you heard, or Broclaw, I don't know if you heard, but supposedly, allegedly, Boston is not supposed to play tomorrow. I don't remember who they're playing. And on Saturday, this is predetermined, y'all. On Saturday, Clark is not supposed to play on Clark. So I don't know what that playing. See, I don't know what the hell they're doing over there in Indiana, but it's almost like their season is going to hell in a handbasket and they don't know what to do about it.
They're in the that's why the purpose of the show. They have to try to control something that's out of control, and they can't call it back. They can't.
Because nobody's going to trade for her.
Hold on,
nobody's going to trade for her.
Let me get the money. Hold on a second. The myth of Clark is being exposed. Thank you so much, MR6688. I appreciate you. And guess what, y'all? I got another graph for y'all. Here it go. Y'all ready? Here go my graph. Oh my goodness. Me and these.
You got a 4th person on the panel, Broclaw?
Because
I thought I heard somebody say, "Oh my goodness," but that was you.
That was me.
Okay. Yeah, that was him.
I think he was a ventriloquist page. I'm sorry.
This lady right here, this young lady, Olivia Magic Miles.
Who, Macy Gray?
Is who they thought was not going to be anything. It is the real replica of what they wanted for Caitlin Clark. This is what they wanted. A top dog of Rookie of the Year, a MVP, a real MVP candidate, the leader of her team, and a front runner of all of the teams being number 1 right now in mid-season. They thought that was going to be Caitlin Clark, and they did everything in their power.
And a coach that bench her ass when she don't play defense and she don't complain like the other one.
Hey, the thing is this. At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark is the phony, and Angel Reese is the real. So, y'all, we at the end, towards the end of the show, but we got one more segment, and then you guys tell me what you think after this next segment, After
Before you do the segment, Bro Claude, you may want to ask Paige, does she have any comments?
oh yeah, we'll have that after these messages. Hey everybody, my name is Bro Claude, and I'm here to tell you about the best whipped organic shea butter on planet Earth. It just so happens to be my brand, Bread House Butters. Sheens, shine, heal, treats, moisturize, condition your skin. Not only is this the best shea butter for you, but it heals good, smells good, and feels good. It is the best moisturizer that you can use. It clears up any scars, scrapes, stretch marks, blemishes, rashes, bruises, eczema, psoriasis, and most intensified dryness of skins. You can put this on your face, your hair, and your body, and I'm telling you, this is the best product that you can use in America, because of course we make ours and crafted handcrafted in our own kitchen. So I'm asking for you guys to support the number one product that you're gonna ever be able to put on your body, Bread House Butters brand. And guess what? You can go to breadhousebutters.com. I said breadhousebutters.com, and put your order in now. Thank you, and I appreciate everyone who supports.
Hood soldier that the streets talk about. If it ain't making money, ain't nothing to talk about. Keep my
Okay, Baby Paige, did you have anything before we change this segment?
Yes. I was gonna say that I'm just gonna put this out there that I feel like the narrative about Olivia is gonna change, and I feel like also Hannah Hidalgo is gonna get a lot of heat coming into this league also
Mm-hmm.
because of what brand of shoes she's gonna be wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, because I can't
Allegedly.
say that now, but
Right. Allegedly.
and allegedly the same thing for Olivia too. So
Yeah.
Whoa. I guess you
Allegedly.
can't say it, so I'm gonna keep my
You can't
mouth
say
shut.
it,
But
right?
I think I know where you're going with this.
yeah.
Can't say
That
it,
would
right?
be spectacular.
Now, let me go here. The argument that she deserves to start on this All-Star, she leads the league in rebounding. Angel, she leads the league in double doubles. Atlanta was competing near the top of the Eastern Conference. Her defense and possession impact goes beyond scoring. She remains one of the league's biggest attractions. The counter argument of what these people, the haters and the Caitlin Clarkey, say, the WNBA has a deep group of elite front court players. The All-Star starter spots are limited. The fans voted naturally and rewarded the popularity on truth. The other candidates may have stronger efficiency in scoring numbers. My conclusion is simple. Angel Reese being a reserve is not disrespectful in other people's eyes, but definitely in my eyes. But anyone can pretend that she didn't legitimately make the first team. But we know, because of the production and the way that she brings her own self to the table, in truth, Angel Reese is supposed to be a starter. But if you believe Angel should be a starter or not, you tell me which starter would you replace in the chat. Up on this panel, you tell me who you think don't really meet the aspect of what Angel Reese brings to the table.
Is that a rhetorical question, or you're really asking us?
No, I'm asking you and Baby Paige what y'all think, so that we can have
easy. Jess Shepard or Gabby Williams.
I was about to say those two. Yep.
So don't only say she was robbed. Let's make the basketball argument about it. And if you think that Jess Shepard shouldn't be, and she got 3 triple doubles,
No,
I mean,
here's the argument. Here's the argument that I'm going to make. Now,
okay.
all of us, if we follow basketball over the years, we know this argument. This is why you know it's BS and it's fake. You remember what I had said to you, Brocord, and wrote? I had said Angel Reese, right? Scott,
Mhm.
whatever they claim, just 5 million on Instagram, 10 million, whatever, with whatever platforms, right? And these are active people, right? Because advertisers know that they can just go to her and say, peddle this, and they'll go out and run and buy her shoes or whatever off Amazon, etc. And we know from following the NBA or even the WNBA over the years that you have players who are starters, who are stars. But for whatever reason, when you have all-star voting, nobody cares, nobody knows, because they're going to always vote the people who were all-stars previously. So
Mhm.
here we have the curious case of not Benjamin Buttons, but Gabby Williams and Jessica Shepard. Gabby Williams was okay, and she was, decent last year. She's up and down, but playing well this year. Jessica
Mm,
Shepard was a career reserve. Doesn't matter how good or talented she could have been, you're still a reserve, because we've all seen players have good years, the defense change, and then they have a terrible season, and everybody's like, why? Because now defenses are paying attention to them, or they change their approach. But more importantly, no disrespect, the average fan, if they want us to believe that fans really did this, don't know who the F Jessica Shepard is. And if you tell me they did, they lying. They almost didn't know who Gabby Williams was, but everybody knows who Angel Reese is, and we know she has fans. You can't tell us that Jessica Shepard has more fans than Angel Reese, that Gabby Williams has more fans than Angel Reese, that Natasha Howard, as good a year she's having, has more fans than Angel Reese. So why is it that every year Angel Reese has been, and Brian Williams predicted this, by the way. He said to me on the chat, he said, oh, Angel's just going to barely lose the fan vote because every year they have her like 6 or 7, whatever causes her to lose the overall starting position. And Brian Williams was right on the mother.
You mean Brian
money.
Lewis?
Sorry, Brian Lewis was
Lewis,
right
yeah.
on the money. He said that. He predicted that. And he was 100% right. And technically, Gabby is not a forward; she's a guard. So if you want to say they did this on purpose to stick it to Angel once again, because Gabby is 5'10",
Yes.
but Ryan Howard is 6'2" and considered a guard. And
Yes.
Ryan Howard is a better shooter than Gabby Williams.
Yes. But Gabby can shoot
Ryan,
that thing, though. She can shoot that thing.
Gabby Williams is a better ball handler than Ryan Howard's a better ball handler than Gabby Williams. But magically,
I think they. I think.
well,
I don't know, man.
I know what y'all mean.
Kinda off right there.
We was busting Ryan's chops yesterday about her handle, but you know what I mean. But I see where you're coming from.
Nah, but I gotta.
Gabby's ball handling isn't attacking the basket, but
Yeah.
she's not a primary or secondary ball handler unless I'm wrong, y'all. She's more attacking the basket.
Yes.
She's like a Fly J. Her handle's like Fly J.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Her handle
You
is
think
a
Fly
little
J's is worse?
yeah, but
She's better than Fly J on. So I know you gotta watch it. You gotta kind of watch her yourself, MSL, to put an eye on it. But from the eye test, Gabby handles. I mean, if you saw her yesterday, Gabby got control. And then if you seen her in the France game against the USA, Gabby got handles.
No, she was really good against the USA.
That she has not even unleashed. Really, she's actually playing in a system that Natalie DeCosca got her attacking the basket like she do. Gabby actually a 1v1 player. She's actually that.
Yeah, she shot. I mean, she destroyed Ryan Howard twice.
Yeah, so she can. She's actually dummying down on what makes you make that judgment because of what you have, experienced with her. But she got handles, dog.
But her playing aside, right?
Yeah.
So you're only reinforcing she's more guard than a forward by saying this.
Yeah, she's more of a guard.
Right. So
Yeah.
whether this is Kathy's dirty little joke to stick it to Angel, you
Yes.
cannot convince me that these votes are legit, because what Kathy does, Kathy took all of that everything Angel had coming out of college, and she basically sucks it out in the
Mhm.
WNBA, right? It used to be Caitlyn and Angel, and of course, certain people will talk like that. But for the new people, or for the people on payroll, all they do, like those brothers on Speakeasy that you had, right? They're speaking about. Remember the light skinned one who said, "Oh, well, if Caitlin Clark did this for the league, Caitlin Clark did this for the league." Like he's stupid, right? Because if you look at the ratings for the WNBA, they're
Yes.
not that much higher than they were a few years ago. They're
No.
higher, but it's not like it went from 1 million to 5 or 6,
No,
7
she's
million.
down. It's down 19% from where it started.
Right. So it's so when they say that, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, because remember what he had said? He had said, "Oh, well, the audience was so low that Caitlin Clark." No, because when you look at the numbers, they didn't go from 1 million to 6 or 7 or 8 million. They went from 1 million to 2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when he made the comment, "Oh, well, she got so many better ratings in college." Anyone gets better ratings in college because women's college basketball, for whatever reason, has much higher ratings than the WNBA, at least in the playoffs. The WNBA regular season may have comparable or higher ratings, but certainly the NCAA tournament, you get higher ratings than anything that you see in the WNBA, I guess, outside of an Angel, Clark, final, but we'll see. That's probably never going to happen. So these dudes are just
No.
capping. Like they don't even know what they're talking about. And the reason why they don't know what they're talking about, bro, Claude, is because all this information is coming from the WNBA and no one's challenging it. Paige knows, I know, the chat knows, but these dudes are idiots because they don't follow the sport unless they're on payroll.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy to break down the Caitlin Clark facade. It's not that hard. One of the examples is last year, right? She didn't play
Mm-hmm.
3/4 of the season.
Absolutely.
The ratings were up. The attendance was up in both the regular season and the playoffs. And from a basketball point, her team was one unhealthy Kelsey Mitchell away from the finals. But just like with
Yep.
Angel in college, they memory hole, vacuum it up, and pretend like it never happened, and come back with the same lies and the same memes all over again. And people like us go, "Whoa, wait a minute. No. But for the majority of people who don't know, like your relative, bro, Claude, they believe this stuff because it's just a repetition. It's that old saying, if you say the same lie over and
Snippets.
over again, people will believe it.
Mm-hmm. Highlight
Right.
film,
And we're sitting there like, no. So now you have a woman who has a despicable personality. And remember what we used to say, that she has no personality, so why would you like her? Well, and people kind of glossed it over because they never really saw her personality. Well, now when you're putting her on national TV all the time, you get to see her she's not likable, because we always said her game is not aesthetically pleasing. She looks like Bob Cousy with a wig. She has no personality. She's not physically attractive. She never won a title. And there's nothing new about her basketball game. So why is she so promoted? It's because they want her to be. It's not organic. It's not natural. And now that they seeing her crashing out like this, more and more people will start to understand that argument, because she's crashing out and melting down right in front of us. Because why would you ever want to make this person the alleged face of your league? So, but this is what I mean when I say the black podcasters, the black celebrities, the black news people, they need to bone up, because 90% of the time they do not understand women's college basketball. They do not understand the WNBA. So my thing is, why are you commenting on something if you don't even understand it? Like, go out and learn. And then they kind of treat Angel like she's ghetto. They ghettoize Angel, right? Like them dudes on Speakeasy. They rarely bring up Angel's name. They'll go, Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers. Sabrina Ionescu. Same thing with what's his face, Stephen A. Smith. Like, and they do this on purpose because they all on payroll, because the WNBA, as we know, are partners with a lot of this media, particularly ESPN and others. Just like when Caitlyn freaked out on NBC, And they're just like, oh, she's so nice by being so patient and letting her, spaz out like this. What? On CBS, when that chick had 2 inches between Angel's, when Angel had
You
two
talking
inches
about
between her face, and she was
right?
like, yeah, it's right there. She hit her in the
You
nose.
talking
It's
about
right
serial
there.
fouls? Yeah, serial fouls.
Right.
So,
I mean,
so what
like,
we talking about is right now the popularity in 2024. Caitlin Clark sold out 16 of the 20 games for home games for Indiana. In 2025, only 8 of 22 sold uh sold out
well, that would make
of
sense because she
22.
didn't play.
And
Because she
then
didn't.
right,
And then
and
the 2
then
of the 13.
well, this is why I wanted to bring this up. We are now past 23 games. So, 2 out of the 13 games right now, 2 out of the 13 games have sold out. Her popularity is
Facts
not.
matter.
And
There you
plus, it
go.
was the Dallas and Indiana and Atlanta and Indiana that were the 2 that sold out for them in Indiana.
Yes.
Facts
And they
matter.
had to
There
do
you
with
go.
Paige and they had to do something with Angel.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thanks, T. Camilla. But the thing is this, because I saw that graph too, T. Camilla. You guys subscribe to the channel. If you ain't subscribed here, subscribe to the channel. And also, if you ain't joined the channel, god damn it, this the channel where you want to be a bread maker. That's right. You join the channel, give to the channel, support the channel, be a part of the channel because guess what? Your opinion matters over here. So
Bro,
listen,
Clark, can you repeat that, please, for those in the audience that don't want to hear what you just said? Can you repeat that, please?
if you have not joined the channel,
No, sorry. The two out of whatever games with Indiana not being
oh
sold, only 2 games being sold out,
oh
home games.
for the people that's in the back,
Yeah, for the people in the
okay,
Yeah.
back.
for the people in the back, CC sold out 16 of the 20 games in 2024. 4 games did not sell out in official graph of home games. She played 13 games last year. 8 of the 22 home games sold out. This year is worse than 2025. With her only playing 13 games, she has played in mostly all but one home game, and she only 2 of 13 that she did not. Uh, 2 of the
So if
13
we multiply
sold out.
that by 2, it would only be 4. If we prorated, it would be 4 games compared to 8 last year when she didn't play, and you would have even less than half this year when she did play, just debunking the whole idea that she's growing the sport when she is not. Even in her own
No.
place, they're sick and tired of her.
Oh, absolutely. The Fever fans are speaking. The FIFA fans are speaking. They are tired. So guys, is we at the 2 hour mark page,
Can I
and,
say
and
one last thing, real Claude?
yeah, oh yeah. Hold on, we I'm gonna let you close. So we at
Okay.
the 2 hour mark, you guys, and we're gonna close it up in this part of the segment. We're gonna give the final words to my panel, and then of course y'all already know what I'm gonna say for Angel, and I'm sure y'all want to wait till I close this boy out. So go ahead, baby Page, ladies first.
Allegedly, I'll just say this. The W is only going to give Caitlyn 2 more years. And I'm going to
Too
say
long.
this because we still got Aaliyah Chavez, who
Mm-hmm.
was signed with Nike.
Mm-hmm.
And allegedly, if Caitlyn's not going to work, they already got somebody already on deck to be next. So
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, Caitlyn got 2 years to figure out what she's going to do. Because they're
Yes.
not very happy. I'll just say that allegedly.
No, they
Do
not
you
happy.
think, Paige, do you think the sneakers will come out the end of this year, or you feel there's no way in hell because they would have had to start production already? What do you think about the sneakers? Do you think they're going to push them back again?
I think they're going to push the sneakers back as long as they can. Because, to be honest, those sneakers are not going to sell to the market that they want them to. And also, they're still trying to figure out who's going to be the face of this league. Because Nike still got a couple of college kids that they're looking at too, mainly Aaliyah Chavez, who they, nah, I'm not gonna say that now.
So you feel Nike has too much power in the WNBA? They'll never just do this. They'll never just do this like Unrivaled, where whatever happens. Because
No.
Angel was the de facto face of Unrivaled, and you had two owners that played in the league, but you never got the sense the two owners got preferential treatment or Angel got preferential treatment. All the players were promoted. It was just that they were trying to attract an audience by having Angel, but you never felt that she was promoted any more than the other athletes, because they just treated it like Angel could draw her own audience, so we'll just have Angel. Whereas in the WNBA, everything is about Clark 95% of the time. So you don't think they'll go to the Unrivaled model page?
No, they will not go to the Unrivaled model until they get outside of the NBA and push them out some type of way.
Okay, that makes sense. As long as they're under the NBA umbrella, they're going to deal with these official WNBA sponsors or strategic partners, which Nike is a big strategic partner.
Yes, because Nike's still a big partner of the NBA, which is under the W. So they go under the same umbrella, and they want the same people also.
Absolutely.
Because allegedly they wanted some of the people from LSU also, which you're probably going to hear. Never mind.
Oh yeah, you got to hold that.
Yeah.
We got to hold that.
Yeah.
Do you feel that eventually, whether it be Adidas, I think that's Candace Parker. I'm sorry, Kundis. I'm sorry, Candace Parker. I think that's Candace Parker.
Muncher.
Yeah, carpet muncher, right? Candace Parker Muncher, carpet muncher. Yeah, whether it's Candace Parker with Adidas or Reebok or anyone else that's on the shelf, do you feel that Nike is panicking right now, or this is just business as usual for them to just try to control stuff? Or do you feel from what you're hearing, you feel there's real panic?
To be honest, I think it's business as usual. I think Nike is upset with some of the ones they were trying to get, and it's going to come out eventually. I probably have already said a couple of their names that they're probably upset with already, but
they're going. A lot of them are going with Angel. It's already
Thank you, bro, Claude.
See, you could have said it. Why didn't you just say it instead of letting Paige say it, bro, Claude?
Well, I was going to say
thank you, because
Shaquille O'Neal is already consolidating. He's saying certain things.
Yeah, and that's another thing too.
On the Netflix special, you guys got to go watch it.
Yep, that Netflix special.
Yeah, it's certain college players that he said that Angel is already hooked up with, and is a sure sign. So
now,
go ahead. Well, hold on, MSL. We gotta end. So give me your last thoughts.
What'd you say?
We gotta end. Give me your last remarks for them to leave with.
Oh well, the remark was about what you just said. If I remember it, because you threw me off.
Go ahead.
I remember now. No, I remember. No, I remember. This is what I was saying about the power that Angel has that you will never hear from ESPN. So when we talk about the idiot arguments that we have online, whether they're bots or whatever, we wouldn't have them if the discussion we're having here was mentioned on ESPN, was mentioned on Yahoo. But because we're not supposed to have Angel look powerful or look strong or look like a mover and shaker, we don't have these discussions for the idiots and the masses. Because if these people are going to go on Reebok, more power, more power to them, and we'll see what happens. But in regards to her year, we'll see after what happened against, who was that again? LA, how things are going to shake out. I think their next game is tomorrow. They play in Toronto. You got crazy ass Isabella Harrison there. So this is the test page, right? Because after everything we've heard with Clark, Angel got body slammed at the same arena with the same player. So if she does not get the calls tomorrow the way she normally does, Smexco, because I know everybody hates them, is going to have to write a letter to Congress himself and say, look at what's happening to my player. Look what's happening to my player. She got body slammed in this same arena, and she still can't get a call today. But saying all that, I'll make it brief. Let Paige talk as long as she wants to close it out. Unless you still got to show the other segment.
Paige just closed hers. She was
first.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow. Because you said you got to play one more thing, right?
That's it. This is it. I'm going to do it now. So Angel Reese did not ask anyone to lower the standards. She stepped onto the court and began rising her game. She has changed the teams that she started off with playing. She faced criticism. She carried enormous expectations and continued producing historical results.
Excuse me.
She leads the league in rebounding and double doubles. She is an all-star once again, a 3-time all-star. Atlanta is competing near the top of the Eastern Conference and in the top of the league, in the top 8 in the league. So when the thumbnail says, you didn't think I could, but I did, understand what that represents when I put it up there. It represents every person who was underestimated. It represents every athlete whose confidence was mistaken for arrogance. And it represents an Angel Reese career that remains right on schedule. The baby GOAT is not claiming the throne today, but she is walking directly towards it to claim it tomorrow. I would say, I love you all who came here, and they chose wrong, while we all that's here chose right. And Angel Reese is making sure that we remain to be right. And if Angel, you see your uncle talking his ish, it's all for you. And I thank you for being someone that I can build a platform off of. And if you guys ain't subscribed here now today, you better subscribe to this channel today and join this channel and join me on the march to continue to have Angel name in the highlights, in the reflections of, in the highways and byways. Join me on this coalition and the Simply Ball Dropping Networks and what we are doing here today and representing how everything coincides with the truth and what I bring to you and what the baby GOAT is going to do. Bars. So y'all, hey, I thank you for what you've done. I thank you for what you do. And I thank you for what you will do. But as always, I leave as I came with another bang. Hey, I love everybody. Thank you, MSL. Thank you. So guess what, y'all?
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
Yeah, and everybody else, the haters that's in
Who
the back,
the fuck you think you fucking with?
it sure ain't me, because I know who is the baby GOAT around here. So love, peace, and hair grease. I'll see y'all at 8 o'clock in the morning, and can't wait to get to see another episode of Get That Off your chest.
Well, wait, before you go,
Go
tell us about the Netflix special where Shaq was in, guys.
Just go see Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson building Reebok back.
Okay, it's a Reebok thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Reebok one. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So,
thanks.
Right on
Thank
there.
You guys.
So go there and watch it. You'll get a lot of information and how they tried to get SGA, but SGA chose Converse. But they didn't know that Angel Reese was gonna do this, and that's why she got away. She got a new colorways. It's pink. Put your order in.
I remember I want to say now, bro, Card, if I can.
Go ahead.
People forget that and I've said this before, that when Venus and Serena first came up, the sneaker wars were in full effect. And if y'all watch that movie about the father, what was it called? The King or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, or something like that. And I know Paige said I think she did
Later,
gymnastics.
MR.
Right. So make a long story short, when they were coming up, one signed with Adidas and one signed with Reebok. And when they got their first sneaker contracts, because back then there was competition, and you didn't automatically sign with Nike, because obviously if Nike's offer you $2 million and someone else says they'll give you $6 million, you're gonna go with the other person. If Nike offers 10 and someone offers 20, and so they both went with Reebok and Adidas, and then eventually I think they both ended up with Nike, but obviously they probably had better deals, more power, and more control when they went to Nike. Otherwise they would have stayed with the companies they originally had. And I say that because some people who don't understand history, they go, well, Reebok, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Not realizing that she turned Nike down because obviously she got more power, more control. You know, she's got an apparel line. She could hook up her
She's
friends.
an entrepreneur.
Right. But that's something the media doesn't explain to people, because when it comes to Angel, most of the WNBA media, they don't like her. The official they don't like her. That's why she didn't make first or second team All NBA her first season. She should have made it, last season for sure. And she hasn't. So let's see what happens this year, especially when Coop and Teaspoon was fighting over her for that first reserves pick. Letting everybody know that was a message, y'all. That was a subliminal message. They were letting people know, put some respect on Angel Reese's name, because she should be here instead of that Shepherd Biddy.
We gone, y'all. I
That's
love
it.
y'all. We going on that note. See y'all, man, in the morning. Tune in to me, and guess what I'm gonna do in the morning? Yep.
Take care, bro, Claude. Take care, Paige.
Thank you, MSL.
Bye.
Thank you, baby Paige. See y'all later, man. And guess what, guys? We're gonna leave out with a hit. As always. And I gotta give the people something, you know what I mean, always to listen to. And this represents Angel. You don't want none. If you do, come get some. But I know you don't want none. You don't wanna go to war with me. You don't want none. If you do, come get some. But I know you don't want none. You don't wanna go to war with me. I'm hearing fake suckers talk about they want war. You don't want none coming from the soldiers, boy. Better be cool, sit down and just chill. You don't wanna see me out on the battlefield. I rip tracks up for a damn living. Beat them whole like a piece of pound Thanksgiving. Welcome to the Killer's Terror Dome. Ha. Get ready, cause daddy's home. Ha. I'm raw with it, that's why the streets feel me. And that's why these haters wanna kill me. They ain't ready for the counterattack. Ha. I'm shooting rounds with actual facts. So whenever you see me coming, y'all better start running. I came to this game to handle my business. There ain't another reason why I'm up in this. You don't want none. If you do, come get some. But I know you don't want none. You don't wanna go to war with me.